Welcome to a glorious day here by the Black Sea. We're at the Sochi Autodrome for what could be a really exciting Grand Prix weekend. The final alterations are being made in the garages as the teams prepare to send their cars out for the first time. This fascinating Hermann Tilke designed track has a number of tight corners and a 180-degree bend. It provides the team with a range of driving challenges. It's an impressive track, certainly from a technical point of view, but we can't call it a classic just yet.
Well, drivers certainly prefer the classic tracks, but there's no denying it's a state-of-the-art circuit, which is going to be a new challenge for the drivers. It's quite technical in places, with 12 right-handers and 6 left-hand corners, and the drivers will need to get up to speed quickly to maximise their chances here.
Today will have even more significance for Daniel Kvyat, getting to drive in front of his home crowd here in Russia.
Absolutely, and what an impressive young talent he is. In the drivers' press conference this weekend, he was talking about what pride he has driving here, and I'm sure he'll be especially keen to get one of his best results of the season.
What is going on, guys? Aarava here. Welcome back to my F1 2015 career mode. We're back with part number 15 today at the Russian Grand Prix, and we had a very tasty Japanese Grand Prix last time out. So if you haven't seen that yet, I uploaded it only an hour ago on my channel. So if you haven't seen it, this is your chance. Pause the video now, go check it out. Absolutely, literally down to the wire race, just absolutely great. And here at Russia, I'm gonna admit it, I don't think we're gonna have such as spectacular race. Russia, if I remember back to last year's game, also wasn't too amazing, but we'll see what we can do. But to be honest, I don't really care how the race is in entertainment-wise. I just need to do well. That's the bottom line, because we need to try and overhaul Hamilton. He's got 24 points to us in the championship, and we need to overhaul that, because obviously, you know, since Singapore, you know, you guys told me that I think we should be going for the championship, and I do agree with you guys. So I'm going to try, cautiously trying to attack for this championship, but if we are going to do it, we sort of need to win here at Russia. We really do, because we need to start off, you know, the kind of charge on. So here in practice, just getting some laps in, P3 in practice eventually, so not too bad going. I'll be hoping for better in qualifying. Let's get straight into that.
Welcome F1 fans, where qualifying will be starting in the next few minutes as the teams prepare to get out on track at the Sochi Autodrome here in Russia. It's really difficult to predict who might come out on top here in Sochi today. I really believe it can be anyone's race this weekend. But am I just sitting on the fence, or do you agree with that?
Well, if you're allowed to sit on the fence, then so am I. To be honest, it's hard to say. This is a new circuit for the teams and drivers. They'll have some data, but it's going to be down to whether they place more emphasis on qualifying performance compared to the long-run pace.
So here we are for qualifying for the Russian Grand Prix, and as I just said before Crofty introed the qualifying, we need to do well here, and as I said, we actually really just, the simple fact, we need to try and win here if we want to start this charge for the championship. And I guess it all starts here in qualifying down into the turn 2. I was about to say turn 1, but turn 1 here at Russia is actually that little kink on the main straight, which never kind of made sense to me, even from last year's game, because it really isn't even a turn, so I don't even know why they class it as turn 1. There you go, turn 2. I'm sure I'll make a mistake about that in the race commentary, but there you go. So we're on the first flying lap. So far, so good. Pretty tidy first sector there, and obviously not many people have set a lap time, so I can't really tell how fast that is, but we're coming through on the back straight now. Again, not really a straight, so many things are very awkward here in Russia. Not really a straight, it's more of like a curving right and then a curving left here down to this braking zone. But we need to charge for pole position, and in practice on the prime tyres I wasn't feeling too amazing, but let's see what this is going to be on the soft tyres, and it is going to be pole position, and I think that is a pretty competitive lap time. That looks like a solid lap time, and I think that is going to be enough for pole position today at Russia.
What a day for the team and Sebastian Vettel. He's put in the fastest lap of the session, and he's on pole.
Well, he really pulled that one out of the bag. A very good result, and one that they'll be looking to build on for the race tomorrow.
Here we are in Russia, in the scenic Black Sea resort of Sochi, where this purpose-built track is described as one of the most impressive tracks on the Formula One calendar. Welcome to the Russian Grand Prix. There's nothing better than starting from the front row of the grid, and it should mean that Sebastian Vettel is favourite to win today's race.
It's certainly better for a driver to be out in front, as they're able to drive without having to contend with the dirty air and overheating caused by being sat behind another car.
Lewis Hamilton described the win last time out as one of the best of his career. With the strength of that Mercedes this season, he has the perfect tool at his disposal to get more race wins.
Well, we all know how good Lewis can be when his mind is in the right place. He can be really hard on himself though when things don't go his way, but when they do, he's pretty much unbeatable.
So here we are for the grids for the Russian Grand Prix in pole position, and I am here to make up for Japan. I need to get Hamilton back because that race is still eating away at me. Man, that was an annoying race to end with, but we are going to try and do better here in Russia. We're on pole position. Can we convert it? Let's see. We're going to go towards those 5 red lights for the Russian Grand Prix. 5 races left in the championship. Can we make a difference? We go to 4, now 5, and we're off straight away. Rosberg, you can see on the right-hand side, shooting past me now. He's got a great start. We're in second. We're holding second. Raikkonen into third there. We're going to get a tow on Rosberg here. It looks like he's got a very high downforce setup compared to myself, and we go steaming past him into turn 2. I nearly said turn 1 again, but we're into turn 2 in first place. Hit the apex. Looks like Hamilton has now got Rosberg, so both Mercs fighting and scrapping away there as we cut later on into lap 1 through the final corner. Obviously, we're going to come through with a purple lap time because we're the first to cross the line. But as you can see, we're already building a gap to the Mercedes guys who behind us are starting to fight. So that is really going to make a big difference to how we can try and get away from the Mercs. So they start fighting, then that's our opportunity to just bolt like a rocket, like Sebastian usually does in back in 2013 in his Red Bull era. But yeah, let's talk about the start. That was really ridiculous, actually. It looked like we had such a low drag setup compared to Rosberg. I think I ran about 3.2 wings in the end in qualifying, so definitely Rosberg setting a much higher downforce package than I did. Maybe it helped him for qualifying to get second place through the corners, and obviously we know that Mercedes power unit's pretty good, so in qualifying it would have been fine. But I guess in the race, full fuel, definitely my low drag setup is helping, and that's something I've noticed in this game quite a lot, guys. If you are maybe struggling for setup wise and stuff like that, I've noticed definitely, and also the likes of Noble299 in his setup videos have already noted that it seems like this game definitely rewards low drag setups, and definitely you're making up a lot more time in this game on the straights than you do in the corners. So even though you may be understeering corners, it may be more worth to set lower wings because then you can gain so much more on the straights. And definitely worked out for us today there with Nico Rosberg. We're in first place at the moment in the driving seat, onto lap 3, through turn 2 once more, and the gap is ever growing. Hamilton there, you can see, is fighting with Rosberg once more. And I'm hoping for a calm race. Obviously, the Mercs are going to be pretty strong, so we'll have to be wary of that. I think it's a one-stop, so we'll have to be wary of how they go on the prime stints, because in practice, the prime stint didn't go great for me, but we need to hope that we can just keep a calm, steady race. But here's the replay of the start. Now, you can see Rosberg did get me straight away. Raikkonen in third. Hamilton out-drags Raikkonen there to turn 2, but I out-drag Rosberg. So Hamilton there, seemingly with a lower drag setup than Rosberg, because he's able to out-drag my teammate, but I out-drag Rosberg. So here's Rosberg's start. Obviously, brilliant flying start from the AI. Always one AI without fail overtakes me on the start. I still haven't been able to nail the start. I don't think there's any easy secret about the start, but I'm gonna have to try and find out soon. But yeah, I'll get back into him on turn 2 into first place. Hamilton then does a little switch back to Rosberg into turn 2 as well, and then later on onto lap 2, this is Hamilton in the slipstream Rosberg coming from quite far back. And he slipstreams Rosberg, goes down the inside, the two Mercs squabbling once more. You can see there, I'm in the distance, going through turn 3 now. But Rosberg again gets on the inside once more, gets ahead of Hamilton. So this little scrap that the Mercedes are having are just helping me so much. So the next lap, same thing again, carbon copy move. Hamilton makes the move down inside. This time he's got even more speed with a DRS now, and he's able to get Rosberg. And from this point on in the race, unfortunately for us, the fight sort of stopped. Rosberg just couldn't keep up with Hamilton, and he didn't have an answer for him. So Hamilton bolted off from Rosberg and tried to catch me up. Later on to the Grand Prix, I believe around lap 5 or 6, I think this was, Danica Fiat trying to make a move on Daniel Ricciardo. Obviously, Danica Fiat's home Grand Prix here in Russia, so the Russian is going to want to try and do well, but unfortunately, gets a little bit of a tank slapper into turn 2. And now we're just looking on the replay cameras behind us. You can see our entire train of AI here, and I'm sad to say, actually, guys, for the video's sake, this race actually turned out to be the most like a real-life Grand Prix in 2015, where it was very hard to overtake people for, you know, many people. Look, I mean, even here on the replay now, later on to around lap 7, I think this was, Kimi Raikkonen slipstreaming Rosberg here, tries to go down the inside, but Rosberg comes back at him, and it just seemed like all the AI even couldn't overtake each other with the amount of downforce they had, but also the dirty air around here in Russia. Obviously, no undulations, no major overtaking spots here in Russia. So unfortunately, actually, it ended up being quite like a real-life Grand Prix, almost, with a single file through the circuit. So we come to lap 12 now. So for the first stint, single file, all pretty good for us, really calm. We had about 6 seconds or plus to Hamilton as we kind of really gained on him in the first 3 laps, getting away from him while the Mercedes really fought. And after the pit stop phase, 1 stop, unfortunately, and yeah, we've got onto lap 27. We've cut out pretty much the entire prime stint. And we're still in first, and we've got a huge lead to Hamilton. Well, I say huge, it's closed down a little bit. It was huge. At one point, it was 16 seconds to Hamilton, but Hamilton has been closing it by about a second a lap since lap 20. But really just dominant race, perfect weekend really. Pole position, you can see on the top right, we've still got the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. I think that's how you tell it, where it stays purple. So if we bag this win, hopefully we don't have a Japan moment and we don't lose the back end or anything, don't lose it at the last minute. This will be a literally perfect Grand Prix. Pole, win, fastest lap, banging it in like Sebastian has done in 2013 and previous years in his Red Bull career. Just perfect Grand Prix, the Grand Prix we needed, and this is going to be the Russian Grand Prix win.
Ela ragazzi, grande, nice one.
The Tifosi will be delighted with that result today. No one can match the Ferrari as they stormed home for the race win.
They have been working really hard, and today they got their reward. Superb work from both the team and its driver.
That's it for today's Grand Prix, and from Ant and I, it's goodbye, and see you again next time.
So a fantastically dominant win here at Russia, and I'm just going to say it, Russia really lived up to its name of being boring. I'm going to say it, I'm sorry if you're from Russia and watching the video, but the track is not the best. It's not the best. No undulations, no real big overtaking spots, and the dirty air here, seemingly, we didn't even get any action with the AI like we did in Monza, unfortunately, but that is a crucial win nonetheless. It doesn't matter how the race went in terms of entertainment factor. For me, the result mattered a lot, because if Hamilton keeps on getting second like this and I come first, that's only 7 points I'm gaining on him, and we've got 24 points before this race to him, so 7 points a race, which means we have to win 4 races if we want to overhaul him, if he keeps coming second if we win the races. And that's just saying if I win the races. I might not win the races, and in that case the only chance is that Hamilton finishes even lower than second behind us if we finish the best place of second if we don't win the races. So very, very crucial, all getting very, very tight in the championship. Again, guys, do you think I can do it? We've got USA, Mexico, Brazil, and Abu Dhabi. Now, Abu Dhabi, I know, is a very strong circuit for me. Brazil, it's been okay, but it's also been very bad for me in the past. Mexico is a complete blank. I don't know how that's going to go, but it's going to be a very exciting Grand Prix nonetheless. And USA is usually quite an exciting one, and usually quite a good place for me. So, do you think I can overhaul Hamilton? Let's see. But if you guys did enjoy that video, and for that amazing, dominating win, smash that like button, comment below what you thought. If you're new around here, then do subscribe for daily Formula 1 content. We'll be back tomorrow with the USA Grand Prix, and I can pretty much guarantee it will be more exciting than this Russian Grand Prix, guys. But nonetheless, you have to have some of these races to make the more exciting ones even more exciting. That's how it works, even in real life F1, I believe. But yeah, I've been aarava. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you guys next time.